I'd like to welcome you to another Live in the Mix with Hugh. This is week four of NFL football. And you know we talk about Bucs talk, but I can't, and I mean it, I cannot give you Bucs talk without giving you the scores. So we're not gonna waste no time on that. Sunday, final scores. Week 4. We're going to start off with the Vikings facing the Steelers. And that was a good early game in Ireland, if I'm not mistaken. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but I'm going off the dome. 24-21, Steelers take that. We got the Saints in the Bucs division facing the Buffalo Bills. And the Saints got to get it together, but we knew this was going to be a long year for them. The Bills take that 31-19. The Titans and the Texans. Both 2-0-3 teams. And I can't lie to you, the Texans looking bad, but also the Titans looking even worse. Texans take that 26 to the Titans 0, baby. This was a surprise, but when you go into the acclimates of what the Chargers have to deal with and the weather change, and when I mean that, the latitude and all that mess, I don't know too much, I just know it does play a factor. You got the Chargers facing New York. I know a buddy that put a high ticket on that, and he lost, but he tried to take the Chargers, and he was wrong, baby. 21 New York for the first time starting Dart, quarterback number 1 now, bench Russell Wilson, to Chargers 18. That's crazy work. The Colts finally went down to the LA Rams. Rams 27, Colts 20. You got the Baltimore Ravens against the KC, Kansas City Chiefs, baby. And I'm telling you, Lamar is not looking good. Derrick Henry is not looking good. But hey, they got to get it together, and they can get it together. 37 Chiefs, 20 Baltimore. You got Washington against the Dirty Birds, which is in our divisions, the Falcons. The Falcons took that one 34-27. You got the Browns facing the Lions, and we know how that was going to go, guys. 34 Lions, 10 Browns. Somebody have told me they have bench Joe Flacco. Jalen Gabriel's up next. We got the Patriots blowing out another division opponent, 42 Patriots to the Carolina Panthers 13. God, that man must be on the hot seat. Oh man, we got our former coach, Jaguars, going against the 49ers, and it got dicey. Liam Cohen had to say, hey man, keep my name out your mouth. But Liam Cohen and the Jaguars take that 26, 49ers 21. And the Bears finally got them one, y'all. We got the Bears coming out 25, beating the Raiders 24. That was a close game. And y'all see that at the bottom? I mean, do y'all see that at the bottom? Michael Parsons. Oh man, I gotta say this again. Michael Parsons facing his former team less than a month of getting traded. Facing his team less than a month, the Packers go to the Cowboys. And we didn't know what was going to happen. We just knew the Packers was going to roll over them, for sure, right? Nah, they tied. The first tie of the year, 40-40. And if it wasn't for Michael Parsons stopping that run, that was going to score and game was over. But Michael Parsons came when it mostly counted. And I think it was a sack, y'all. And you know we got to talk the Bucs. Oh, man. The Bucs had a tough one, started off strong like we was going to get blowed out. The Eagles came down to Tampa Bay. They had a chip on their shoulder. Jalen Hurts said to himself he'd be lying if he didn't circle it. You got the Eagles facing the Buccaneers. The Eagles edged that one off 31 to the Bucs 25, and we got to get in right there. I appreciate everybody for coming in and viewing In the Mix with Hugh. This is week 4, and we here. We got to talk about it. We will talk about it, and let's talk about it. The Bucs went down, as I said. It looked real bad. If we would have got blown out, man, they would have been talking like the Bucs is not it this year. They just been struggling anyway, last minute wins. But because we fought back with a missing Mike Evans, with a unstable line, Tristan Wirth coming back for the first time, Chris Godwin coming back for the first time, we fought back and made it a game, and key turnovers made it where we lost the game and didn't give ourselves a chance. The first thing we have to talk about is the special teams. The special teams look mighty bad in 3 to 4 weeks. Yeah, 4 weeks. Let's just call it what it is. At 1 minute, you had Chase McGoffin missing his kicks and the opponent doing okay. Then you had the week 2 to now where the punter is taking too long to kick the ball, but it's not just a punter. I think the A gap over there, they say, is a little weak. You can see the Eagles head coach saying, "I told you so." They seen something on film and they got it. The very first punt we had, we start slow, man. We have to stop starting slow. The Buccaneers have to stop starting slow. I don't understand why we start slow, but we start slow. With that being said, we start slow. They block the punt, and when they block the punt, they go in for 6 all in one. So we start off kind of shaky, y'all. The offense could not get it together in the first half, and the Eagles offense got it a little well together. I think Jalen Hurts in the beginning threw for 130 yards, and he had 2 touchdown passes, which was like little tosses to the tight end. Later on, we thought they was going to do the tush push, and they did a toss to Saquon Barkley, which was pretty cool. We kept Saquon Barkley under wraps. So if I was to give you some stats, let's start with Jalen Hurts. I told you at 130. Jalen Hurts was 15 for 24, 130, and that was in the first half. We didn't let him get no yards at all whatsoever in the second half when it came to passing. The rushing, Jalen Hurts came through again with 9 attempts for 62. We hold Saquon Barkley for 19 attempts for 43 yards. That was good. A.J. Dillon, 3 attempts, for 17 yards. And the punter, what made us not have a 100-yard rushing on us, he was a negative 34. Passing, the tight end got that 4 for 4, 37. Goobert. Saquon Barkley, 4 for 4, 31 yards. D. Smith, that's crazy, 2 for 2, 29. What's going on with the passing, guys? What's going on? And of course, A.J. Brown, 9 targets with 2 receptions for 7 yards. I know he got to be going crazy. Let's go over to the Bucs. Baker Mayfield, 22 for 40. That's terrible, man. 289, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception that was costly, that wasn't called for. Rushing, we did not do the 2-headed monster once again. Bucky Irvin, 15 attempts for 63 yards. White, 6 attempts for 17 yards. And Baker Mayfield, 2 attempts for 13 yards. You go down to the rushing, Bucky Irvin had to make up for the fumble. Many people don't know if it's a fumble, if it's not. To me, he fumbled regardless because he's trying to get extra yards. But hey, you could argue that point all down. The officiating was kind of terrible. You go to Emeka Buka, 10 for 4, 101 yards. Before that big catch, they was holding, but that cornerback was locking him down to a certain extent. He's still a good wide receiver, as you see, 101 yards for that throw. White, 5 for 4, 29 yards. Godwin was shaky. He was shaky. 10 for 4 for 26 yards. Shepard, 4 targets for 2 for 14 yards. And Oden, 4 for 3 for 9 yards. Tez Johnson caught his one and only pass. We never go back to him. It pisses me off because he got a first down. Well, I lied. He got 8 yards, but we never went back to him, man. We got to get that coaching together. So I will go right there. When I say coaching together, last week I had a personnel problem. I needed the personnel to do better. It's kind of the same thing this week. I mean, you start out the game. I thought it was a first down, but Tez Johnson get the ball, get a gang of 8, and you never see Tez Johnson again. The good coach get their players, even if you're not a number one in the game somehow. You could at least draw up 3 plays for Tez Johnson throughout the game to give him at least 3 targets to see what he can do. Like I told you with a Mecca Buka, um, he did his thing with that catch. I'll be honest, guys. I didn't like the throw. I talked to some people about it. Some people understand where I'm coming from. It just take a little adjustment as you watch film, and some of them plays will be interception. I heard the Peter report come through. Somebody said Baker was like a Baker slash Jameis, and they kind of got offended saying, no, he only got 1 turnover. Well, I'm here to tell you, I'm a Baker fan, but I'm a realist as well. And if some of these catch and fumbles was on, got caught or recovered by the opposite side, which was very possible, the God's just been on our side, we most likely will be top 3, if not number 1, and leading in turnovers. So he still is putting the ball in harm's way. And for some reason, he gets down on the goal line and wants to do too much and wants to play hero. I heard him when it came to the press conference. He says, hey, man, Chris Godwin was open. If I could put a little bit on it, slip. Man, listen, throw the damn ball away. Stop trying to be a highlight reel and be a team player. You are, brother, and I'm not saying you aren't. But you have to know when to go out there and be the highlight. Sometimes you can be such of a highlight man, a dog. You can be so much of that man that you do too much, and right there you did, and it caught us with us. You was the man for the first 3 weeks. Week 4, we had to pay. You live by Baker, you die by Baker. Also leads me to Bucky Irvin. Same thing. You get a big play, and sometimes you have to know, just put your nose down and go get the hard yards. I do think on that fumble, you was trying to do a little too much, but hey, that's my opinion. But I have seen through the first 4 weeks that every play is not an explosive play. And this is why I say we have to have a 2-headed monster, because explosive doesn't mean every down back. Explosive doesn't mean every down back. And what has to happen here is we have to get accustomed back to what worked. Them 63 yards that I believe Bucky Irvin had is the same yards he would get if we give Rashad White a couple more carries, and nothing else ever stops. He will still be explosive like last year. We would just be sharing the wealth and doing something like the Lions do. We have to get back to the 2-headed monster. Bucky Irvin hasn't got 100 yards on the ground yet. We could blame it on Tristan Wirfs, but I don't want to hear it. Tristan Wirfs actually did have the highest grade on the offensive line. I like the Jordan kid for guard. We didn't bring him in for some reason. Um, I'm kind of confused why we're not putting him on the line. Graham Barton had 47 overall grade for that day. The left tackle, Tristan Wirfs, had 64. You got Luke Haggard. He had 42 offense of you know, what he did over there. And Charlie Heck, I mean, they did the same thing, just 0.6 and 0.3, 42 again. Them guys have to get better. Once again, I do not understand why Michael Jordan, I believe his name is, his overall grade, when I looked at it, was 60%. That's pretty good. So I don't know what we're doing here. I don't know if we look at these things. Jamel Dean, going over to the defensive side, is hurt again. Also, his backup is too. I've been having a problem with Coach Bowles rotating Morris in, the rookie cornerback, because Dean has the highest PFF grade as we talk right now. And I didn't get it. The only reason I can't fight back, he could say, is I know Dean will eventually get hurt with it growing. But guess what, guys? Morris has also been hurt all season long. And when I say that, I mean the off season. So he just got in the last 2 games with the rotation. He had a hammy during the summer, and he has another hammy. So we got to wait till them reports come out. They'll get, both of them are good, but I just don't understand why you rotate Dean unless you send a clear message. Savasier Dennis had a better game, guys. I think his coverage was overall the best when I looked. You might can go look back for yourself, but I did look. If I'm not mistaken, he is the top, but he's definitely the top three, if not one. He did better. He's getting more in his groove. Overall, the defense is doing good, other than start and slow every game. I believe since last year and maybe even the year before, we give up the first series every time, and it's like we adjust in, like we focus in and say, "Now we got you." But we have to start fast. Levante David said it, and that's just is what it is, man. I'll take the loss. It's kind of aggravating that we gave up two costly turnovers and they did it, and that's why they won the game. Because everybody knows if we tied up and the ball on our side, we most likely got the chance to win. But that's here and there, say, and that didn't happen. Coach Bowles, I've been praising. I didn't like how the team took control on that last series. We had 5 minutes left. I needed somebody to say, in my opinion, let's go 2-minute drill. So if we don't get it, or if we do, we have a chance to stop them again, which they had 0 yards. We have a chance to stop them again and get the ball back or score if we didn't get it like we didn't on that series. Uh We ran the ball. We just ran it down too low. We should have been doing 2 minute. We was good with just tying it and living the fight. If we're gonna have a killer instincts, we got to have a killer instincts, guys. So overall, the Bucs looked like they was gonna get an ass whooping, but end up competing, and that's every game of every NFL team for the most part. You do have some blowouts, of course, but every team, even if they're not the greatest, is gonna compete each and every Sunday, and we showed that. Now we was missing a Mike Evans, and I think that shows because he opened up the game for everybody, and it was a little sticky. But I don't know how many weeks he's gonna be out. They didn't put him on PUP, so that means he could return before 4 weeks. But I want him to take him time because we got to get the 1,000 yards. We got to get the 1,000 yards. So with that being said, I hope they take their time with him, but I hope he comes back. We got some important games coming up. We got to try to not go to the 4 game losing streaks or even 3 game losing streaks. We need to win this week to show that, we had a hiccup, but we coming to compete, and I believe we will. One thing I got from Bruce Arians is good football teams don't lose 2 in a row, and I'm going to believe that for this year. We don't lose 2 in a row. I need us to have the killing instincts. I need us to do the two-headed monster. I need us to have better personnel to able to compete with the best of the best, and I believe we'll be okay. Raw talent, we are good. We got some injuries, guys. We're gonna have to see. I can't tell y'all, but I know Bucky Irvin was one. The 2 cornerbacks was another. We got like I said, Mike Evans. But overall, it's the next man up. Luke Gedeke still got about 2 weeks out. And like I said, we need to see what's going on with Michael Jordan because he better than both of them guards that played this week. Ben Bredesen, I didn't quite like them changing the offensive line. I think they could have put Tristan Wirth at the left tackle, his old position, and left everybody where they was. But as Scott Reynolds say at Peter Report, they drafted Barton for a center, and that's what he's going to do. So with that being said, guys, it was an up and down game, but I do believe we will get it together because that's what great teams do. And I gave you what we need to do better, so I won't go back over that. But it is go Bucks. Hopefully we get it together. And there's nothing else I can say. We do play um Seattle, and they changed the time. Well, they could be changing the time depending on if the baseball game goes to the playoffs. But regardless, we will be doing 4:05 is the starting time. So that's a little break from the 1 o'clock. And it's a different latitude over there. And Geno Smith is over there. I'm sorry, Sam Darnold is over there. And we're gonna see how that go. He's still been playing pretty good. Cooper Kupp, they got a nice wide receiver that's young and added. and they're gonna test our defense, but I believe we could pull it through, go 4-2. I mean, I'm sorry, 4-1, and move on to the next game. So I appreciate you for viewing In the Mix with Hugh. We try to keep it short and simple, but I see you guys next week on week 5 of the Buccaneers Bucs Talks with In the Mix with Hugh.